Hi guys, welcome to Dog Life. I'm Kim Pichotti.
And I'm Christina Borders.
And we are very glad to have you this week. We are doing a show as part of our three-part series, kind of. Today's is on fitness. Last week we did obesity and we did fitness this week. And then next week we're going to do some stuff on nutrition. So, I think everybody needs a fitness program. Do you?
Yes, I need one desperately.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. No blunders here.
No,
I'm talking basically.
It's important,
right? And that for our dogs as well. And what better way to kind of incorporate it a little bit with your dog? They've got all different kinds of things out now, doga and running under treadmill, and doga is yoga for dogs, but doing it with your dogs.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different things, but there's some things that you need to know before you jump into a fitness program with your dog. Some things we want to make you aware of. It's all a learning thing. So let's just jump right in. We're going to do this. We're going to make energy bites today.
Yeah,
we're going to see some canine comics.
We're going to check out some fitness trackers.
Right. So we've got a lot planned. So we've got to hurry up because we've got a lot to cover. So let's look at our first up and learn some about the fitness. Contrary to popular belief, dogs don't entertain themselves. Over 50% of our dogs today are left home alone for around 6 to 8 hours daily. Many spend their time sleeping while you're away, and others are stressing for your return. But either way, having some sort of fitness regimen for your dog is a very important part of your dog's life and yours. The good news is that keeping your dog healthy, happy, and out of trouble with daily exercise is really a lot of fun and provides many, many health benefits. Exercise removes toxins, strengthens their muscles and bones, and even slows down their aging, which we all know how important that would be. It boosts your dog's brain power, improves their behavior, prevents diseases, and promotes healthy weight management. Walking is actually one of the best exercises for most dogs because it has low impact on their joints. Walking can be beneficial in arthritic dogs as it helps to maintain muscle mass and distribute joint fluid, which keeps their joints lubricated. Always make sure to start slow and change up the type of activity as your dog progresses. There are even dog treadmills. They even have dog gyms. Balance exercises can also help increase confidence and reduce injury for your dogs, and really humans of any age as well, by strengthening the core and stabilization muscles. So whether you have access to an ocean or even a small kiddie pool, swimming is a great low-impact exercise for your dog. Go slow, because not all dogs do like water. No matter what age or size your dog may be, you can create a wonderful fitness program just for them. It is also a way to enrich the bond that you have with your dog by spending time and just having fun together. Well, one thing I can attest to is that fitness definitely has an effect on behavior.
Definitely.
I see that all the time with the puppies, my own dogs, and I'm sure you do
My
as well.
dogs, yes, and everybody has, if our dogs don't get a walk during the day or certain times, they show it in their behavior.
Exactly. They kind of get real antsy, but just like kids.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're going to move on to what we found as far as the dog activity trackers and GPS trackers. We picked the top 3. We went off of Amazon. We went through Amazon's reviews. So none of these, we have not tried these. We're not endorsing anything here. We're just kind of let you know what we found out. So first one we looked at was the Link AKC. And this comes in a leather collar or the black
neoprene.
Okay.
I think it's neoprene.
Okay. And with this one, you kind of hook this onto the collar, and it presses right against the dog, and very simple. So some of the people said that they really like this because the fact it lights up at night. You can do stuff with sound and temperature with it as well.
That's cool.
The GPS is real time, which some of the other ones aren't, so that a lot of people like that.
That's
about
important.
This. It got 63% of people rated it 4 to 5 stars. It's subscription based, starting around $6.95 a month on that one.
So you have to have this subscription in order for it to work.
Exactly. Okay. The GPS, let's see, according to the reviewers, it's not very small dog friendly. From the standpoint of the collar, it's the same thickness. So that would be kind of a little bit of an issue that we found on that. And let's see, app takes a long time to set up. Now, we did try to do that ourselves, and we did kind of get a little frustrated as well with it. So those are the things, and it does have a hard time syncing, is what some of the reviews were kind of coming back. Next up that we've wanted to review was the Whistle 3. If I can hold the box here and get it open. This one runs for $99.95. I wasn't sure if I told you what the Lynx just cost. I think that was $98.20. Let me double check. The Lynx, yes, $98.20 for that one. So this one is $99.95. Now this one is a little bit different because this one has got the little container thing that goes on the collar, which I kind of did like that about the Lynx, because a lot of times when I see this, especially at a distance, I'm thinking it's a shock collar on a dog, and that's something I'm totally against. So it's good to know that not all the time when you see this now that's that. So it kind of comes with a charger. You kind of stick it in. This is the one that is good to runs off of AT&T. So you have to have a subscription with AT&T, and I believe it's what was it? How many miles?
Is it 3,000 miles?
3,000. And then this is the one that's also totally waterproof, which is really good.
If your dog's a swimmer and you travel, that's a good one to pick.
Exactly, exactly. This also, this is more, they were saying, more of an activity tracker because it does a lot of the things that puts it right in. It sends you the text messages and so forth for your dogs to be able to kind of know that. Very user-friendly. App seems to be very easy. Very simple, quick start guide that they've kind of put in there. Friendly and very easy to attach to the collar. They said it unattached. Let's see here. What else did it say? That you can use it on dogs 8 pounds or bigger. As we said, what I liked about the safe zones, that you can set up safe zones so you're not constantly getting text messages saying, my dog blinked. You know, I mean, it's one of those kind of things.
So you know if your dog's left the yard. That's an important safe zone.
It does say it has a 7-day battery life. So it was kind of in the middle. I believe the Lynx, the AKC one, some people were saying you have to charge that every day. The FitBark is something that I think it was about 14 days, and this one was about 7. So it's all kind of in the middle of that. Let's see, the other one, the only other complaint that I did see, or not really complaint or concern, and it could be changed by now by the time this airs, is that they said the customer service wasn't there 24/7.
Yeah.
So if your dog is, but if this is more of a activity factor, more
if you're
than
using
GPS,
it only for that, but
right.
if you did, need the GPS and you were having issues and you couldn't get customer service,
that would be a little bit kind of frustrating. And then lastly is our FitBark. Now this one is strictly a dog activity monitor. It's no GPS whatsoever in this one. And they have received 84%, 4 out of 5 stars on Amazon. Whistle, I wasn't sure if I told them, 82% on Whistle. This one was $69.95. And this one attaches to your collar just a little bit different than the other one.
it's a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller. And they also make these plastic covers in like different colors. So if you want to be fashionable,
hey. Match your dog's collar.
Who knew, right? Who knew? One thing that was kind of cool about the FitBark was that they've got various veterinarians kind of studying with it.
Yeah, they use it a lot in the research.
Exactly. Because what it does is it's monitoring the dog when they sleep, so you can find out if the dog is restless, maybe the dog's not getting that good night's sleep, if it's got higher activity, what's kind of going on, and it's got some kind of a way that I think it sends to the graphs and sends you all the information. So that was kind of a neat thing. I can't talk here. Tracks the dog's sleep quality, calories burned, and activity levels. Battery life for up to 6 months, but needs to be charged every 14 days. So I don't know if that means you have to replace the battery inside it every 6 months.
Is it like the little celluloid watch batteries?
I'm not sure. I mean, that one, I would hate to know that it didn't go to work. Then maybe that's a good thing. That's not a dog activity tracker because you don't want it to not be that way. What cool is it links to the Fitbit and the Google and the Health Kit. So it links to all that. So if you want to go and run with your dog, Problems is not fully waterproof. They say it is, but
you don't really want your dog. If your dog is hanging out in the water all day, it's not a good one for that.
Yeah, it's more for tracking their on-land activity. Some people say the colored covers come off very easy, or they're not happy with the app. But I think that's all kind of general stuff. But all in all, I think that there were some good things here. Once again, you have to pick what's best for you and for your dog and what you're looking for. And right now, we're looking to make some energy bites.
All right.
Because
I need some energy.
Me too. So we're heading off to the kitchen, guys. We'll see you in a minute. Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. And what we're going to talk about today is, in light of the fact that we're talking about obesity and fitness and nutrition in these couple episodes, is energy bars for dogs. They're new to the market, and a lot of people are coming out with them saying, hey, your dog needs an energy bar. And one thing that I've learned that marketing is very good at is when we're able to tell ourselves, this is something our dog needs because we take it. And that's kind of where a little bit of this market is kind of going in. Energy bars for us are basically a lot of carbohydrates because we need carbohydrates to be able to burn the calories. Dogs on the opposite end need fat. They need protein and fat in order to do it. So some of those energy bar recipes you're finding online really aren't that great for your dog because you're putting a lot of the higher carbohydrate items into them. I mean, yes, we have to have some, otherwise they wouldn't be an energy bar. But we want it to go where we can alter things and change things for our dog, and do they really need them? So what I did was I found out the caloric burn of an average dog, and what I found was even just a short little walk that taking with your dog and coming back and then all of a sudden giving them that milk bone biscuit or that dog treat, what happens is you're actually giving them more than they actually even burned. So it's one of the things where these aren't things that, like we've talked about in the past, that you're going to always want to give the dog. It's just something as a reward. So we're going to kind of jump in and let's get these going. I've already preheated the oven to 350, so we're going to go in with our base. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually start this with a base of yogurt, Greek yogurt, because it's lower in the carbohydrates. Now, you've got the options to do the beans. You can do garbanzo beans, cannelloni beans, you can do the black beans. But once again, don't forget when you're adding your protein that way, you're also adding the carbohydrates. So kind of, once again, all individual for your dog. So let's get started. I've got a cup of our Greek yogurt, and you can buy the one that's got like the 2% fat in. This is actually the Fage that's got the 0% milk fat. It's kind of really what I had on hand. And then I'm going to take a banana, and I took about 1.5 of this size, the smaller ones, and I kind of just put that through the food processor. So we're able to mix that in as well. Then give that a little bit of a stir up. Then we have, what I really, really like is this peanut butter. It's called Crazy Richards. And the reason I like it so much is because it's 100% peanuts. And it also does not have to be refrigerated. So what is really great is you literally can pour it. And it's so much nicer when you're doing baking and so forth. And like I said, it's 100% peanuts. So we know it doesn't have all the sugar, all the added stuff that we really don't need in there. So I'm going to mix all this up. Let's get rid of these dirty dishes back under here real quick. Wipe off my hands. So once again, in baking, and anytime you do, it's always you mix all your wet, and then you add your dry, and kind of incorporate that. So these are going to be our energy bars. Now let's say you didn't want to do peanut butter. You could very easily do almond butter. Let's say you didn't want to do yogurt. You could do applesauce. Liquid for liquid and texture, and dry for dry. So you can make this any kind of combination. You could do pumpkin if you wanted to do that. But these are the ones that we chose today. As you can see, it's kind of basically the same consistency. If I would have taken the beans and put those through the food processor. So it gives you almost like the consistency of like a hummus. So it's like that. So then we're going to add a little bit of sweetener. We're going to add in 1/3 cup of our maple syrup. You could use honey if you wanted. That's just as fine for the dogs. Kind of get that going in. And then our protein source is also going to come from our eggs. And what I wanted to do is I didn't want to add too much fat for them and for us, because don't forget, we're going to have these as well. So I used 1 egg, and then I used 1 egg white. So we added the extra protein as far as that goes. But everything you're going back to incorporating all together. You very easily can do this in a food processor if you want. For purposes of doing it this way, I didn't want you guys to have to listen to the food processor. So we're going to add in our eggs. And if you don't, or if you're vegan and don't want to do eggs, you can do flaxseed and water. Anything, I mean, it's just really kind of a base combination of everything that you can just kind of pick and choose whatever ingredients it is that you like. So we've got all that incorporated. Then I took 1.5 cups of oats, regular oats, not quick oats, and I mixed it with 1 cup of brown rice flour. You can use spelt flour, you can use garbanzo flour, whatever you want to do. Once again, very, very easy. Very lucrative as far as all our changes that we're doing, along with our stir-ins that we're going to do as well. Now, depending upon your liquid, we may have to add some more oats into it, depending how thick in our stir-ins and all that kind of stuff as far as pressing it down. But we're going to stir in our flour and stir in that. Then I've got 2/3 cup of sliced almonds. You can use pecans, you can use walnuts, you can use almonds. They're all fine for your dog. Put those in. And then remember, those are lower on carbs, so that's why they're okay to do. A lot of these energy bars call for puff cereal. Don't do that because that will bump up your carbs. Coconut is another low carb item. So I've got two-thirds of a cup of coconut as well, unsweetened. So we're going to put that in. So you can see we're starting to get our thickness. It's kind of got a little bit of fluff. We don't need to add any kind of baking soda or baking powder or anything else like that. I think I probably will add maybe a little bit more oats. One thing I did forget though is I'm going to put a little bit of almond extract. You can use vanilla, you can use almond, you can use butter, you can use coconut. Be imaginative. Kind of stir that in. And then the last thing I'm going to put in is I'm choosing to add today fresh blueberries, a cup of fresh blueberries. You can add dried, but the dried evidently, obviously, you know, has the sugar in it. So you can easily dry them yourself by popping them in the oven about 200 degrees, a couple hours, let them go, and you'll have dried out blueberries with no sugar. But since we didn't have time, we're going with fresh today. So we're going to put that in as well. And then what we're going to do, and lastly, as our tip for the day, is, and this is a great thing to have in your kitchen, as I lose my bananas here, cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon is great for dogs that are on the kind of side of obese and possibly worrying about a little bit of diabetes. You can add a little bit of cinnamon into their food and it helps regulate their sugars better. But what is really nice and adds a ton of flavor, instead of just grabbing that cinnamon jar, you can just use a regular old cheese grater. And you're just going to grate some cinnamon in, or you can use a smaller grater. And we're just going to grate it in and be able to have that. And it's so fresh in there and it gives such a great flavor that the dogs really, and us, it really tastes well. So this is about the consistency or the thickness that you want. As you can see, it's kind of like almost like a cookie dough. It's not battery, it's not like pancake or anything else. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you very easily a trick with parchment paper. We make our own handles. So I get it to the size of the pan. I crease it on both sides. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of my bars right inside, just like this. Get that all in there. And I'm just going to press this all down. And I can press this all down and get this all even. And I'm going to get it into the oven. And while I do, why don't you go watch our next clip, and when we come back, we'll have our bars ready, cut them all up, and be ready to go.
Tori Mystic, founder of Wear, Wag, Repeat, is a lifestyle blogger with a passion for style, chocolate labs, and the color pink. She's based in Pittsburgh, PA, and started her blog in 2013, sharing photos of her dogs and lifestyle tips. Wear, Wag, Repeat is a multimedia brand created for stylish dog moms. If you can count shopping, crafting, and dogs as your 3 favorite things, this is the site for you. Tori shares with her followers fashion posts, dog toy, treat, and food reviews, and even free DIY tutorials. In the summer of 2018, Tori added the Wear, Wag, Repeat shop, featuring dog-obsessed handmade goods for stylish moms or really anyone who just loves dogs. Tori hosts a podcast where she interviews like-minded women in the pet industry. She found that there are women all over the world who are inspired by the joy, fun, and pure love of their dogs. These women have named their companies after their pups, created products to help them, and raised money to help other pets in need. Tori has literally turned her passion into her dream job and won the Blog Paws Award for Best Pet Blog Design in 2017. Others you'll see working with Tori is Lucy, her 6-year-old chocolate lab. Lucy is the official taste tester for Wear, Wag, Repeat, and she also loves doing photo shoots because they usually mean lots of treats and attention for her. When Lucy isn't working, you'll find her enjoying her favorite activity, which is swimming. Recently, there was a new hire at headquarters. His name is Bert. He's an adopted 6-year-old chocolate lab who had been suffering some epilepsy. Since joining the Wear, Wag, Repeat team, he has been seizure-free. That's awesome. That's just amazing. It shows the power of love. That says a lot about following your passion and doing what you love. So join the other 40,000 followers and follow Tori on Instagram at @TMystic and visit the website at Wear, Rag, Repeat. And you can enjoy all of the 50 episodes of her enlightening podcast, which is also available on iTunes.
Welcome back. We have made our energy bites since we've cut them small because we don't need a lot like we were talking about to give our dog. It's just a little special treat. We topped them with a little bit of yogurt. I mixed, I think it was about 3 tablespoons of yogurt with a little bit of maple syrup, kind of put it in a piping bag, kind of just made it all messy. It's all fun. Put it in the refrigerator to chill for a little bit, cut them all up, and they came out wonderful. So remember, not all dogs need the extra fat. If your dog is super, super athletic, then you're going to want to add that fat. About maybe average dogs, about 15 to 16%. If they're, very, very active, and by very active I mean they're running 5 miles a week with you or something like that, then they've got to kind of up their fat to about 20%. So it's all about balance. It's all about what's best for your dog. Nutrition is very, very individual, as well as the fitness programs. But even if your dogs aren't doing fitness programs, these work out as great treats because the dogs all love them. And I'm actually going to bring 2 guests in right now. I'm going to bring in Alicia and Navia and see what they think. Girls, here please. Navia and Alicia, please. Up here, please. Come here, babies. Come on over here. Oh, very good. You can make it up. Come on. Come on, we're going to taste it. Look. Oh, look what we have. Alicia, can you do your sitting? Very good. Where's your sister at? Is she finding stuff? What do you think, baby? I think we are puppy approved. Hey, Navia, your sister's getting all the treats. Come on over here, babe. Navia, here, please. Navia is like finding everything. Nav, come on up. See, look, come here. Here, Navia's sitting. Can you sit down? You're littler, so I need to break this even more. Once again, remember, just the size for your dog. Navia, where did your hiney go? Oh, be careful, Lisa. Oh, I dropped the blueberry. Boy, I say they're really big hits. Okay, Lisa, okay.
Okay, Mondo, are you ready to go? All right, so if you're wondering why I'm standing in the middle of a hot tub with a puppy, I'm going to tell you. We are working on something called proprioception, which is a big fancy word for body awareness. It's part of our fitness regimen with the puppies, but it's something that you can do with your older dog as well. It's very important for injury prevention and for strengthening your dog and your puppy's body. What we're doing in the water today is taking a boogie board that floats. Obviously there's enough water in here for it to float, and I'm going to put Mr. Armando on top of it here, and he's going to find his balance. Body awareness is all about coordination, balance, just being aware of where your puppy needs to be aware of where his legs and his feet are. He's a little nervous. He's got his tail down just a little bit. But we're just going to let him kind of get through this. And what you're doing, as you can see that the board is moving around underneath him as he's standing, which is a good thing. You want him to stand. He's shifting his weight through all 4 limbs, and he is actually strengthening the muscles at each limb. He's using his abdominals. So he's building muscle. He's building muscle memory. He is learning about where his feet are at all times, which is great for when they're out running around and we're crazy, and we don't want them to plant a foot somewhere and then wheel around and forget that that foot is there and then tear a cruciate ligament or something like that. So body awareness is very important to learn for injury prevention and for strength training for adults and babies alike. So get your puppy in the hot tub today.
Is there anything that dog puppy owners can do if they find out that their dog or their puppy is diagnosed with dysplasia? Is there any types of activities that they should avoid or something that is good for them to do? Should they cease all extra activities altogether?
Well, an animal physical therapist told me one time that swimming is the best exercise for these guys. And you don't want to take them on long walks. You don't want to take them on long runs in the woods because it's going to add to the arthritic problems as they get older. But swimming is a great exercise for people too.
So low impact, easy
Low
on the
impact,
joints.
that's right.
Alright.
No hot aerobics, or no hot yoga would be okay, but no hot aerobics in these dogs.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Does this ever happen to your dog? They get crazy, they get a burst of energy, and they get the zoomies and just start running around the room or the house or the yard. There's actually a scientific reason behind that, and it's called frenetic random activity periods, and it's completely normal. Our dogs usually do it when they get excited or even when they see another dog getting excited. So the next time your dog gets the zoomies, don't worry. Just sit back and enjoy them loving life.
So did you like the energy bites?
Yes, I thought they were very tasty.
So did the dogs. They really are pretty good.
They are. It's a nice little
Are you feeling
snack.
energy yet?
Yeah. It'll
Okay.
hit me in a few minutes.
Well, we thank you guys for watching this week. It was great to have you. And we are going to send you out today with a little episode of Cosmos World and his take on fitness. And see what you think.
Yeah.
So join us next week. Hey, don't forget to send us your pictures, your videos, all this stuff. Remember, this is your show. We want to show your stuff. We want to have your stuff on there. So just let us see it. And have a great week, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. What we need to do is take him, let's take him to the gym and get him together so he knows what to do with puppies. What do you think, Haz? You want to go to the gym? Go to the gym?